A survivor can live with makeshift tools, but to truly build a home, you need vessels. Pottery is a transformative technology that allows you to boil water safely, cook complex meals, and store food away from pests and moisture. It is the art of turning worthless mud into a priceless resource. In this masterclass, we will walk through the ancient process of finding clay, forming it, and using the power of fire to create permanent, durable ceramic cookware. Primitive pottery, a masterclass. Chapter 1. The theory of pottery. Pottery is a chemical and physical miracle. We start with clay, a material made of microscopic flat platelets. When wet, these platelets slide over each other, making the clay plastic and shapeable. When we fire it, the intense heat drives out the water chemically bonded to these platelets and then melts the silica in the clay, fusing everything together into a new rock-hard waterproof material, ceramic. Understanding this transformation is key to avoiding failure. Chapter 2. Sourcing the clay. Reading the earth, good clay is the foundation. Look for it in areas where water has settled and evaporated over long periods. Riverbanks, the edges of dry washes, and low-lying desert basins. The best clay is often found a foot or two below the topsoil. To test it, take a small, wet piece and roll it into a coil. If you can bend the coil into a circle without it cracking or crumbling, you have found good plastic clay. You must then process it by adding water and straining it through a cloth to remove rocks, roots, and other impurities. Chapter 3. Tempering, the secret to strength. Pure clay will almost always crack when it dries or is fired. We must add a temper, a non-plastic material that creates a microscopic skeleton within the clay, allowing moisture to escape evenly. In our Arizona environment, sand is the most abundant and effective temper. Crushed pottery shards, grog crushed shells, or even fine dry grasses will also work. We will knead the temper into our processed clay until it is evenly distributed, usually about 1 part temper to 3 or 4 parts clay. Chapter 4. Forming techniques. Pinch and coil. We will focus on 2 fundamental techniques. The first is the pinch pot. Start with a ball of clay. Press your thumb into the center and slowly pinch and rotate the clay to thin the walls and raise them into a small cup or bowl. The second, for larger pots, is the coil method. We roll out long coils of clay and stack them one on top of another. We then use a piece of wood or a smooth stone to weld the coils together, smoothing the inside and outside walls until the coil lines disappear. This allows us to build large, uniform vessels. Chapter 5. The firing. Trial by fire. This is the most critical stage. First, the pots must be bone dry, left in the shade for several days until they are completely free of moisture. Any water will turn to steam and shatter your pot. We will then conduct a pit fire. Dig a shallow pit, line it with stones, and preheat it with a small fire. Place your dry pots in the pit, on top of the hot stones. Then build a large fire on top of them, using plenty of hardwood. Let it burn down completely to ash, which will insulate the pots as they slowly cool. This slow cooling is essential to prevent thermal shock and cracking. Chapter 6. Conclusion. The birth of civilization. After the pit has cooled completely, often a full day later, you can excavate your finished pottery. What went in as fragile mud has emerged as durable, fireproof, waterproof ceramic. You now have the ability to cook, store, and transport resources in a way that was impossible before. This is a monumental step forward for any survivor. If you found this masterclass useful, fire up that like button and subscribe for more. This is true Wasteland Wisdom.